a beverage because I asked. I mean, if somebody would actually make that decision, something's wrong in the world. Look, this one to me came down to one thing for us is we played extremely hard. Especially from the time we were down 10 in the first half. I just thought we played with unbelievable intensity. Obviously, they defended us very well too. We shot the ball extremely poorly. I thought in the first half, both teams defended pretty well. I thought in the second half, they defended well, but I thought we had good looks in the second half, especially on one stretch there. We missed like 4 wide open shots in a row, and obviously we're going to have to shoot the ball better, but that comes and goes. But our guys' effort tonight, I thought, was above and beyond. And when you can shoot 34% in a game, in a playoff game and win it, I got to be very, very proud of our guys, and just hope that at some point some guys will start making some shots.
How tough is it? You're searching, trying to find something. I mean, you don't really have a lot coming off the bench. It seems like a couple starters are struggling. Are you just searching?
Yeah, when I look at these shooting numbers, wow. You got Dwight, and then you're 18 for 66 with the other guys. I mean, what Dwight did tonight was phenomenal. I didn't give him much rest in the game. It was a huge game, and I went with him all the way. A couple of times I asked him. I did. He can verify that. We asked him 3 or 4 times. You want a couple minutes here, and no, I'm good. And he was good. He was outstanding. We got to get his turnovers down still, but what he did was outstanding. And I got to think at some point we're going to knock down some shots here, and things are going to open up a little bit.
Stan, was perhaps the key play Jameer's hustle play with you all ahead 78-76? Jameer diving into the court game.
I thought we had a few of those. That was a huge one, though. Yeah. I just thought. Look, I thought overall, everybody who played put a lot into that game and played very, very, very hard, and that's what it took to get a win.
I should say for veterans like Turk and Jay Rich, who had miserable shooting nights, that came through with some big baskets there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was. The thing is, and I said it several times in timeouts. I mean, I really thought I liked the shots we were getting in the second half, for the most part. We took a couple that were bad where we didn't execute stuff, but I thought for the most part I liked our shots, and I just kept saying we got to keep shooting the open shots and they'll drop, and they didn't really. But then Jay Rich knocked down the big one, which really wrapped it up in the corner. Off a great play by Turk. So you got to. I mean, look, those guys' games are great shooters. They're not going to continue to shoot like this. I don't believe that, and I think we'll be okay.
Stan, you get to that 9-minute timeout in the second quarter when they were starting to roll a little bit. Jamal Crawford got hot. Did you just feel the need to settle the guys down a little bit at that point?
Yeah, I thought that the whole game, I thought our energy was pretty good. I just, we were not playing well, and he was wearing us out. I mean, he's an unbelievable pull-up jump shooter. He can get space on you anytime he wants and get that shot off. We eventually did a little bit better job on him. Our pick and roll defense became a little bit better, and we got him somewhat under control, but not much. I mean, he's a hell of a player, and he's going to be a tough matchup for us all the time.
Stan, you talked about eliminating some of that space for their shooters. Talk about how you guys did that tonight, so running those guys off of those open shots.
Sometimes well, other times not so well, and look, it's a combination. It always is. You feel like your defense is a little bit better because, and I think it was, and you look at their shooting percentage, but they also miss some shots, that they can make. I mean, that's how it goes both ways. It's the same with us. Some of it's their defense, and some of it is you miss good open shots. So, you have to go back, I think, and especially when you watch a film, both players and coaches, be as realistic as you possibly can with yourself. Now, I did think, look, in the first half, they had 11 points that were unbelievable. I mean, Joe Johnson hit he hit it at 2 40-footers at the end of the shot clock. You know, they had the one tip in where the ball just, I mean, it was crazy. And so that's one thing we said at that timeout at 32-22 is, look, okay, come on, hang in there now. I mean, they're struggling right now too. I mean, they've hit some at the end of the shot clock. Those aren't going to go down all night. You know, so we felt like we were defending okay even at that point. But our offense is, you know, it's a struggle right now. I don't really know the answer to that. I think we got more guys involved. You know, we got you know, you look at those, our key guys other than Dwight. Turk got 16 shots, and Jay Rich 12, and Jameer 15, and then Ryan 7, and Brandon 6. Jay, we got guys some shots, you know. We got to see if they were good enough, if we can get better ones, and then we got to expect them to make them.
Can you describe the adjustments you made defending Johnson and Heinrich?
I just thought we played harder. It's not anything I did. Our guys did it. You know, I mean, it's you got to get out and take the challenge. You know, we went back and forth a little bit as the game went on double teams on Joe Johnson. He started picking us apart. He's such a tough guy because he's hard to single cover, and then when you double team, he can make all the passes out of double teams. We screwed up on our rotations 3 straight times there early in the fourth, and had to make some changes there. But you know, I thought we tried to give him some different looks, and we did a decent job.
Coach, there was one play, I think it was in the first half, where Crawford drove in, and he saw Dwight there, and he was worried about Dwight blocking the shot, and he threw it over the backboard.
Yeah, I thought that was, you know, I mean, that's what a guy like Dwight does, his presence, and that's why they gave him that trophy before the game. He was phenomenal tonight. I mean, he really was phenomenal tonight. I mean, just the energy itself that he put into the game. I'm not even talking about, you know, the numbers. I mean, 33 and 19 is great. You can fault his 7 turnovers, but what he put into the game for 48 minutes at a game of that intensity, that's incredible. And I'm sure he's glad that we've got 2 days in between right here.
Stan, at this point, what can you get from Gilbert? Was he hurt? Was he?
No, I decided to go a different way in the second half, and it really had nothing to do really with Gil. It had to do with matchups more than anything. When Turk handles the ball, then JJ can guard the point guard. We can stay a little bigger and the whole thing. So in my mind, it really came down to an either or, JJ or Gil, you know. And then I had to make that decision. So.
How tough is it when there's, you know, one guy's coming off an injury, hadn't played in 5 weeks, and the
Well,
other guy's been struggling?
Look, there's a lot. I told you going into the series, I mean, the hardest thing we have, the most difficult thing I have with our rotation is because of what happened in the last 5 weeks, JJ's injury, and then Q was out, Chris was out, Jameer was out a game up in New York, Gil was out, is we never had all those guys. We never made a final decision going into the playoffs and never developed a perimeter rotation. I mean, we know what we're doing with our bigs, but we never developed a perimeter rotation, and that's going to make it difficult, and we're going to have to play according to situations. And I'm sure Gil's not very happy with what happened in the second half, and don't necessarily be like that all the time, but that's the way I decided to go tonight.
Stan, you get a sense that because these two teams are so evenly matched that everything's going to kind of be a struggle from here out, both ways?
I don't know. You know what? That's the funny thing. You know, you've been around long enough. I mean, any expectations you have, generally wrong. The other night was primarily an offensive game, and tonight, you know, everybody struggled on the offensive end. You don't know. Every game sort of takes on a life of its own, and you just got to do whatever it takes to get the win on that night, whatever it is.
Coach, it's obvious that you're in a little shooting slump, but the effort is there. With that being said, are you going to change any strategies going into Atlanta, or are you going to just hope that they work themselves out of this slump?
I don't really have a strategy for getting guys to shoot the ball well. That's not really something I can X and O. You know, maybe when I draw the diagram, I'll show the ball. Maybe we've left that part out. I don't know. Generally, when I draw the play, it's just who's going where. Maybe I have not made it clear enough that we would like the ball to go in the basket. So that's a good point, and maybe I'll make sure the next time we draw it up that we're clear about that.
Little arrows.
Yes, exactly. We normally stop the arrows when the guy gets the ball, you know, it sort of stops, but now we'll maybe draw the arrow into the basket.
All right, I think we're good.